Join me, everyone. Let's catch the wave on Arirang Radio. Yes, and Catch the Wave is here for you every single day. We have 현우 선생님, 안녕하십니까?
안녕하세요. Hello, everybody. Hello, Adrian.
Yes, how are you, Hyunwoo?
I'm good. Very excited to be here again.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you again.
And TGIF.
Thank you.
Yeah. Happy Friday to all the listeners. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. We're here to teach you some expressions, to have fun, of course, and we'll also answer some of your questions in the second hour. We also have some audio clips prepared, so feel free and let's surf on the Korean wave. Now, how have you been? I haven't seen you in a bit. How are you?
I'm really doing well, and we've been busy like at the Talk to Me in Korean office. We have been publishing books nonstop.
Yeah.
And
we actually mentioned one of them.
Yeah, that's right.
Last time for our Lunar New Year's show, we actually had a lot of fun. With 100 idioms.
Show. Yeah.
That was a fun show actually last week.
Yeah, thanks to Catch the Wave, that book is selling really well. And
cool. That's great.
We get messages from people saying or telling us about their episodes of how they used what expression to whom and how they impress their Korean friends. So that's cool.
Perfect. Yeah, make sure you use some of the expressions we teach you. That's the best way to learn a language, and that's also a fun way if you want to make friends. You can try to use the expressions, and even if it's not the perfect expression for that situation.
Exactly. That's also a conversation starter.
And it's still really fun, and people will laugh and they will help you. So it's a good icebreaker.
And also, if people laugh at you, especially, you remember that expression really well.
That's true too. That's very true. So don't be shy and don't be afraid to make mistakes, of course. And you can send us your audio clips as well. The email address, catchkoreanwave@gmail.com. Now we're going to jump into the first expression, and we actually just took a photo of ourselves. You can check out the expressions, the romanization, the definition as well on our Facebook page. Just click on Catch the Wave. Well, type in Catch the Wave on the search bar and you will find us. Make sure you click on the like button as well. I like the first expression, Hyunwoo, and I love your drawing. What is it, please?
Okay, so the first expression is 머리를 굴리다. 머리를 굴리다, and I drew what? What did I draw?
I can see a guy, and he's basically rolling his head. Or making his head roll on the floor like a bowling ball. Yeah,
exactly. So
what does that mean?
My intention was not really to make it a scary drawing, but it is kind of scary.
Yeah, it is. I don't see any red, so that's okay.
Okay, yeah,
that's okay. Soft enough.
So 머리 is your head, and 굴리다 is to roll something.
So roll your head.
Rolling your head on the floor.
So what would that mean? Roll your head.
Not necessarily on the floor, but when you roll your head, it's not about rolling or turning your neck, around to stretch your neck or anything.
So headaches. No?
No, not really.
If you roll your head, you have a headache.
Your head.
No? Stretching. I don't know.
Not really.
Or you're trying to use your brain.
Bingo. Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
So roll your head in Korean, 머리를 굴리다 means in English using your brain, or think really, really hard. Imagine that your head, inside of your head is a hard drive, it's spinning.
Yep.
So you have to make it spin for it to produce some data, some relative information.
Yeah.
So 머리를 굴리다.
머리를 굴리다 isn't it like not a bad expression, but sometimes I think I've heard people use it
it's very,
in a negative way.
Yeah. It's
머리를 굴리다. 머리를 굴리지 마.
Exactly.
Sometimes they say.
Very informal, very colloquial. You wouldn't hear like anybody saying this in a formal speech. But if somebody is trying to be really clever by coming up with excuses, you can say 머리 굴리지 말고 열심히 해. 머리 굴리지 마.
머리 굴리지 마. So if you're trying to maybe I don't know, go around a problem.
Yeah,
Let's say
yeah.
you have to solve a situation.
Or avoid punishment.
Or you're trying to escape and avoid something, then you can use your head and you can use your brain and try to be a little bit more clever, a little bit more wise than other people, but it's not necessarily in a good way.
Yeah. One good example of using it in a good way, like positive context, could be 머리를 열심히 굴렸는데 I did my best to come up with an idea. I rolled my brain a lot, but 생각이 안 나요.
생각이 안 나요. 정답이 없어요.
네.
There is no
좋은,
answer.
좋은 생각이 안 나요.
좋은 생각이 없어요.
Yeah.
현우 선생님은 머리 많이 굴리세요?
I roll my head literally on the floor when I break dance. My mother hated that, but
your mom and your wife might be a little bit worried.
my wife is not worried.
She's okay.
It. Yeah, she likes
She's
it.
used to it now.
Yeah.
머리를 굴리다.
머리를 굴리다.
And they also say sometimes that Korean people overseas, when they go to another country, they also use their brain a lot, and not always in the best way, but they're not doing anything illegal, but they're always like in business, for instance.
I see.
When they want to make money or when they want to save money as well, you have to use your head.
Exactly, like finding clever ideas,
Yeah.
like niche markets and stuff like that. So that is also related to 머리를 굴리다.
머리를 굴리다. That's a fun expression and also an easy one to remember.
Yeah.
With the
very
little
easy.
drawing here. And also, why not? The photo we posted on Facebook. Check it out. You can check out the spelling and how it is written, and with the romanization as well, if you need to maybe pronounce or say these words. We'll be back in a few moments with the second expression. I like the second one as well. There's a guy swimming, and I can see some numbers. We'll give you more details in a few moments, everyone. This is 이승철, My Love. My Love. A nice song for you. You like 이승철, don't you? The singer we just heard?
Yeah, I like his voice and also how, sometimes people who can sing well, I mean, even if they can really sing well, their voice can be really weak, really very thin, even though I'm not a good singer, I like 이승철's powerful voice, I think. Yeah.
There you go. I'm sure some of our listeners also enjoyed that song. And the music video itself is also quite unique and quite original. So you can definitely look it up, for instance, on YouTube. Type in My Love 이승철 and you'll find it. Now, welcome back. We have 현우 선생님 in the studio. And we're in the first hour. We just talked about the first expression, 머리를 굴리다, rolling your head. Basically using your head to sometimes avoid maybe a punishment, sometimes to maybe... save some money or maybe make some money.
Find a solution.
머리 굴리다. So it's sometimes used in a bad way, but it's not always the case. And sometimes it can be used also in just, the regular way. 머리 굴리다. So you're trying to find a solution, trying to maybe find some answers to a problem, things like that. Now we have the second expression, and I talked about this guy swimming in numbers. I'm going to show it to the camera here. Tell us about it. This one is also quite interesting, I find.
So the expression is 세월이 흐르다. 세월이 흐르다. 세월 and 흐르다 are those two words. And 세월 is really difficult to translate literally because 세월 is basically time.
세월, time. But it's not like a short time.
No, large
세월.
scale. So many years, many months at least, not weeks. It's definitely not like within the scope of weeks.
No.
It should be more than months or like usually
seasons, maybe seasons or years.
Yes.
Yeah.
세월이 흐르다 means to flow, usually liquid like water, like river flows. So 세월이 흐르다 means this large chunks of time.
Yeah.
They flow.
Okay.
So that's what it literally means.
That's why I see 1994,
I put
2010,
numbers of years.
2007, 2014, and this guy is basically swimming in water with all the years passing by.
Exactly, standing in the water while all the liquid is flowing past him.
Through, just like a river.
Yeah.
Flowing. 흐르다, 물이 흐르다, 세월이 흐르다.
Yeah. Although we use the verb 흐르다 for this, it just means time passes. And since 세월 is like a large chunk of time, it means years pass by. But I don't get this same nuance of 세월이 흐르다 and you're being a little bit nostalgic, you're sad, or you realize you're getting older. That kind of nuance from the English expression years pass by.
Years pass by.
It's just years.
It depends on how
by.
you say it. Years pass by.
Still, it's a little
I know what you mean.
Weaker than 세월이 흐르다.
세월이 흐르다. 세월이, that term itself is very poetic.
Yeah, it's very poetic. 세월. If you are interested in finding out the Chinese characters behind it, 세 is the same thing as your age, 20세, 30세.
Okay.
And 월 is also the months. So it's basically time.
Time.
Yeah. So 세월이 흐르면 when time passes many years later, maybe we will be in our 40s, 50s, 60s very soon.
현우, 세월이 흐르면 알게 될 거야.
You will know?
You will know later on.
Everything about life?
You will understand what I've been through. It's usually like fathers or, people who are much older than you, elders who tell you this sometimes.
Yeah. Or people who, I don't know, break up and they want to wrap up their relationship with good words. Maybe they can say 세월이 흐르면 나중에 so and so, but that never happens.
세월이 흐르면 나아질 거야. 괜찮을 거야.
Yeah.
It will be fine with time. Time heals.
But the part that's bad about that is it has to be 세월, not just 시간.
시간, right?
It's a long
세월.
time.
A long time.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the second expression for you today on our K-Talk segment. We'll be back in the second hour. If some of you are still curious about these expressions and if you want maybe some more details, you can always visit our Facebook page, Catch the Wave, and also online, arirangradio.com. Now, when we come back in the second hour, what are we doing, Hyunwoo?
We're going to listen to our listeners, their recordings, and also after that, we will be answering some questions.
That's right, some questions. So please send us your curiosities. If you have any questions for Hyunwoo 선생님, leave us a message on Facebook or also on arirangradio.com. We'll be back in a few moments, everyone. Stay tuned. This is Broken Valentine, Aluminum. Yes, everyone, here we go. TGIF, let's catch the wave. Surfing on the Korean wave. Today, it's going to be languages, or language, Korean language, where we actually introduced two expressions in the first hour. We have a photo of Hyunwoo 선생님 and myself holding up these whiteboards with the expressions and the beautiful drawings by Hyunwoo. So you can check it out on Facebook and also on arirangradio.com. Leave us your comments as well, and you can like the photo, of course. Now, we're going to jump into some audio clips, and thank you in advance for all your voice messages. The first message was sent in by, I think it was Christina. Christina from Taiwan. And she says she saw our post the other day, and she decided to send us her voice message. She thinks that Korean is really hard to pronounce, even harder than Chinese and Japanese. Really? Maybe some people will say the opposite. It really depends on, where you're from. She's from Taiwan, so naturally Chinese is probably easy. Japanese is not too hard to pronounce.
I think, I don't know, it's not, well, sometimes it can be difficult, but the basic pronunciations can be pretty simple to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she basically decided to send us her message. And so she used basically 4 different sentences, and she says, absolutely, an absolute beginner she is. Why don't we listen to it, and then maybe, Hyunwoo, you can maybe correct some places or try to give her some advice?
Of course, if there are any mistakes, I will try to correct them.
Sounds good. Let's listen to Christina.
여러분 안녕하세요. 저는 타이완 내에서 살고 있는 크리스티나라고 합니다. 항상 방송을 들을 때마다 너무 행복해요. 제가 대학은 졸업하고 나면 한국에 가서 오빠들 만나고 싶어요. 모든 분에게 감사드립니다.
Awesome.
Very cute. Thank you very much.
First thing I want to say, this was not coming from an absolute beginner.
Yeah, because I mean the sentences are actually quite long and well made.
They are actually very well written, and the pronunciation was also very good too. There were like minor things that I would like to just briefly talk about here and there.
Good.
But overall
a great job.
Really good. Awesome. So in the second line that she said 너무 행복해요, right?
Yeah.
But to my ears, it sounded more like the Japanese pronunciation, 한복, you know?
한복.
Not 한복, but like instead of 행복, the strong NG sound, it sounded like N.
Why don't we listen to that part again? Let's see.
항상 방송을 들을 때마다 너무 행복해요.
행복해요. Also 항상 too. I think maybe she's learning Japanese. It's a Japanese influence.
Maybe she is.
Yeah, because 항상 sounded like 항상. It's sort of like Japanese.
So yeah, you have to be careful with the what do you call it? The lower consonants.
Yeah, 받침.
The 받침.
Yeah, please make your 이응, the circle consonant, stronger, and you will sound much more fluent. 항상.
방송.
Yes, and 행복.
That's true, actually. That's actually a good point. So that's maybe something you can watch out for, Christina, if you're listening to us. That 이응 받침, that circular letter under, some other letters. Make sure you pronounce it well.
That's
항상,
right.
방송, 행복.
Yeah, and just one more thing in the next line where she says 대학, which is university or college.
Yeah.
I think she had this slight touch of the sound 다이학 instead of 대학.
Let's see. Let's listen to it once again.
제가 대학은 졸업하고 나면 한국에 가서 오빠들 만나고 싶어요.
And in terms of what she said, of course, you're welcome
to Korea.
Visit us.
And come visit us, the oppas.
I'm sure we are oppas, right?
Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure too. She's a student, that's for sure.
Okay.
So 대학, is that what you were saying?
Yeah, please work on it and try to say it as 대학 instead of 다. Like it sounded somewhat like 다이학. Yeah.
대학.
Yeah. So basically, her message translated into English, I think that would be nice.
Yeah, what did she say?
So she said, 여러분 안녕하세요. Hello everybody. I am Christina from or living in Taiwan. 타이완에서 살고 있는 크리스티나라고 합니다. 항상 방송을 들을 때마다 every time I listen to the broadcast
I'm happy.
너무 행복해요. I'm very happy.
Yep.
제가 대학을 졸업하고 나면 once I finish college 한국에 가서 오빠들 만나고 싶어요. I want
meet
to
you.
Yes.
Go
to Korea and meet you oppas. 모든 분에게 감사드립니다. Thank you everyone.
Yes, a very kind message. Thank you very much. And once again, that was a perfect job.
Yes.
Christina, continue learning Korean, okay? Even if people sometimes discourage you and say, no, you're not good. No, you can do it. You can do it for sure.
You can do it.
Of course. Well, we'll send you, of course, a little present, right, Hyunwoo? You're
right.
basically sponsoring us with some books, I think.
That's right. We have many books available at Talk to Me in Korean, so we will be sending you one of those books.
Send us your contact information and your address online, arirangradio.com. Click on winner information and give us your details. Yes, welcome back, everyone. Happy together. Maybe some of you are also in a long-distance relationship. Maybe some of you went through some hardship because of distance. Well, you know, these days we shouldn't be complaining so much because we have the internet. We also have many phone applications where you can talk for free. You can send messages for free all over the world.
That's right. I don't know. It helps you feel like you're actually next to each other.
Yeah.
Not entirely, but like, you know, very easily.
And also by plane, it got much better. When I was a little kid, when I was born, my parents, I was born here in Korea and they had to go to France. So they couldn't fly over China. So there were no direct flights. So we had to stop over in Alaska, Anchorage, and then take another plane and then go to France. So we had to basically go the other way around.
That's crazy.
And so it took us 24 hours.
Wow.
And now it only takes 11 hours.
Yeah, 11 hours.
So that's just one example. So, I mean, we should be thankful. And even if you're going through some hard times, try to stay positive, and we'll try to also boost you a little bit here with some positive energy. If we can do anything for you, just like we did with the person sending us her message about, you know, her breakup and her hard time, send us your messages and we'll try to maybe play some music, maybe read them on air, and maybe send a little personal message to that person.
Sure.
Of yours.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's now answer some of our listeners' questions.
Yeah, we have a bunch of questions printed out in front of us.
Yeah, which one do you want to start with?
I think this one where I think it's from Misty Blue from the Philippines.
Yep.
And do you want me to read it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
Go
so
ahead.
when she says goodbye to someone, for example, when I say goodbye to our messenger, I don't know what type of messenger it is.
Yeah.
Maybe the postman. And then he says goodbye to us. I reply to him, 안녕.
안녕.
And then someone said that it is not good to say 안녕 because it is 반말. It is not respectful.
That's right.
So
Especially if you're not like friends with that person or if that person is older than you.
Yeah, so she automatically corrected herself by saying 안녕 만ong, which is uncle.
안녕, uncle.
In Tagalog, I guess.
Yeah.
And the other person laughed so hard. So you need to say it in 존댓말, the polite language. So she wants to know how to say goodbye when the messenger leaves.
Or when someone leaves.
Yeah, in 존댓말.
So how do you say that?
Well, you could say 안녕히 가세요 because the other person is leaving.
안녕히 가세요.
안녕히 가세요.
And then you kind of bow your head forward.
Or if you want to say see you next time, you can say 다음에 만나요 or 다음에 봐요.
다음에 만나요. 또 만나요.
또 만나요. 또 봐요.
다음에 또 오세요.
또 오세요.
Come back next time.
Yeah. But if it's actually the postman, it's weird to say 또 오세요.
또 오세요. He's going to come back.
Of course, like regularly. So yeah, please remember 다음에 만나요 or 안녕히 가세요.
All right. Well, thank you. I hope that helped you out. We had from Portugal, Myrene joining us and saying she actually saw one of your lessons on Talk to Me in Korean. And she says that you actually said, or someone said, that you can't use 죄송합니다. I'm sorry to hear that. So when someone tells you a sad story or when something bad happened to someone, you can't tell them, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. You know how in America or people who speak English say, oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. Are you okay? Well, you can't really say that in Korean. You can't translate that and say, oh, 죄송합니다.
Because I'm sorry is, I mean, it's broader than the Korean 죄송합니다 because basically the phrases that you can say to apologize, 죄송합니다 and 미안합니다, they just mean I apologize. So
she says, how about 미안해요?
미안해요 is also I apologize.
So that doesn't work.
That doesn't work either. So
if someone tells me something really sad, what do I do? What do I say?
You have to just try to look sad too. Or, I mean, for me, it's really tricky also because I never know what to say because there's no
hard,
set phrase. I mean, it's English. I mean, if it's English, it's easier for me because I can say, I'm sorry to hear that. So it's one good thing of speaking English. But
in Korea, you can say, 괜찮아.
Yeah.
힘내.
You don't say anything about feeling sorry, but you say other things like to cheer this other person up. Like, 힘내, like you said.
It's okay.
Yeah, 괜찮아? Or, basically, 힘내세요.
힘내세요.
Yeah, cheer up.
And then you look kind of sad and you kind of like nod your head or like you just tap them a little bit on the shoulder if they're feeling bad. Yeah. But there's not many things you can do or say, actually. Okay. Well, that was an interesting question. Thank you very much. Yes, very nicely pointed out there. We have Gabriela from Brazil this time. Ooh, Brazil. Saying, hi everyone, TGIF, 현우 선생님. What's the difference between 좋다 and 좋아하다? I always get confused when to use these verbs. So is she supposed to say 좋다, 좋아요, or 좋아해요?
So the basic difference is how actively you are expressing your liking toward something. So when something is good, you can say 좋아요. For example, catch the wave 좋아요. If you say that, it could mean either catch the wave is good or you'd like catch the wave. It's just likable enough to say that you like it. But if you say 좋아해요, it means I adore, I like catch the wave, like more actively. So it's not a degree, like different degrees of how much you like something, but you know, just a different perspective. So if you say 좋아요, it can be translated as it's good too. Just remember that. And 좋아하다 is only I like it.
I like it.
Yeah.
좋아하다. 좋아해요.
But for some reason about people though, 좋아하다 is more common because, you know, you're in love, you kind of have a crush. And it's not 좋다, it's usually 좋아하다. Yes.
좋아하다. 누구를 좋아하다.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you can say that about a program as well. Talk to me in Korean.
좋아해요.
좋아해요.
Or 좋아요. Both are fine, but if you say 좋아요, some people might understand you as, oh, okay, so it's good.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Okay. That's to help you, Gabriella. I hope you got the difference between those two verbs and you'll be able to use them correctly in the future. Now, one last thing we had from India, Ranjani, Pink Panther 2, saying, Adrian and Hyunwoo 선생님, I just wanted to share this fact that there are many similarities between Hangul and my mother tongue, Tamil. And she's from India. Words like na, ni, you, wa is come, but also appa, dad, 엄마.
Wow.
So same words basically in her language in India and in Korean. That's really surprising.
Amazing.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
See, this is really interesting. And apparently a Korean person actually did some research on this subject. She also posted the link here. Interesting.
Very interesting.
So maybe we can go to India and use this. Na, ni, wa, come.
아빠, 엄마.
Maybe in your country you also have similarities or words that are used in Korean as well. Let us know that. I think that could be interesting, right? If we ask our listeners if there are identical words used in your country and here in Korea, maybe with different meanings.
Yeah, I mean, of course, 아빠 and 엄마 are like universally similar. But other than that, if you have any other words, let us know. It would be really interesting.
Yeah, maybe a certain word means something crazy
or
and
stupid.
Here in Korea it means something completely different. I don't know. But send us your comments and your feedback and we'll try to use those, of course, as we go along with our program. Hyunwoo 선생님, we're running out of time, but we'll see you soon again.
See you next week, I guess.
That's right. We'll have another show prepared for our listeners. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll say goodbye to Hyunwoo with some music, everyone. This is Bestie, Tugun Tugun, Pit-a-Pat.